Hey, you had a rough day? Yeah, same. Yeah, just everything keeps going wrong, you know. You try something and it's just, oh my god. Something else happens and it's just like, I don't have the energy to deal with this. Some things can be just needlessly exhausting. So much easier if we just if it just works sometimes, you know. If there was just a bit more logic and reason behind what was going on. I guess. It's just how things are sometimes. Anyways, we're here to relax. And that's what we're gonna do. So, how's your day been? Been good, yeah? Well, I already know it's rough, but what happened? Tell me the details. Yeah, I understand. Alright then. Oh, that's rough, yeah. Hopefully that's the end of it though, you know. Hopefully the rest of the week can go a bit easier, a bit less stress. Yeah. That's alright. Hey. We can fall asleep and relax together right now. You know, exams are hard as well, and you've got to manage both at the same time, a job and exams. Oh, it's so much work, so tiring. You feel like one side doesn't understand that the other side exists, and you're trying to juggle both of them. It's like trying to keep a secret. Living two lives. In these situations, you just gotta breathe, you know, just gotta breathe in and breathe out. There we go. It's always good. I think I've shown you this before, but I just got reminded of this lovely little book. The Little Book of Bees. The Little Book of Bees. And it's just so quaint and little. I don't like there's a bit of a thick one. I love like flipping through the papers there. It's got such a nice sound. And I love the blurb. Discover the fascinating story of these marvels of nature. maps to help identify different species. This is the ideal companion for any bee lover looking to protect the future of our furry little friends. Because we need bees, and they need us. I'm just in love with this book. And with a title like The Little Book of Bees, The Little Book of Bees, The Little Book of Bees, The Little Book of Bees. It's a great name, isn't it? Face. Getting hair on it and getting itchy. You watched any movies recently? Any TV shows? Netflix, you know. That's cool. I've not heard of that. What's it? Oh, right then. I'll give that a go, yeah. Yeah. That sounds cool, I like that a lot. I've not watched something like that in a while, actually. I usually watch such high, like, the best way to describe it is the intention of excellence. It's meant, like, these things are designed to be the most perfect of perfect in that genre. I'm talking like A24 type movies, you know. I watched a lot of them recently. And so I think it's time to just sort of step back and watch other movies. Things that aren't meant to be so deep and thought-provoking and complex, you know. Sometimes it's good to just have something that's a little simpler. To be fair, generally, my favourite thing to do is to watch simple things. It's why I binged. Recently I've binged all of Family Guy, I've binged all of Modern Family, I've binged all of Community. I'm about halfway through Always Sunny. I've just started Cowboy Bebop, though Cowboy Bebop's actually surprised, like a lot better than I thought. The story, and though I'm not that far in, the story and just the, like, I don't know how else to describe it besides cinematography. The animation is of the 90s, so it's not the animation. I mean, the animation's still good for the time, and I love but it's the storyboarding and the story, the structure of each episode is really well done, and really refreshing, especially in anime. Something that I've thought of recently is I've stopped. I've not stopped anything. I mean, I've noticed a lot of anime do these huge, like, inner thought, over-explaining everything they're about to do, and what they're thinking, what they think the other person's thinking, between each fight scene or each, and I think it's good to a point. If you have half a season where there are only 2 episodes of actual story, then the next 8 episodes are one single fight scene, and the only reason it's that long is because everything is being over-described. It's not allowing the listener, the watcher, to do any work themselves, I think inferring needs to be people need to infer. People want to be able to figure things out. If you explain everything, people don't figure things out. And that's really boring. And I like the visual aspects, and I think these shows are incredible visually. And the actual overarching storyline in a lot of these animes that I've watched recently are incredible. I've loved them with so much, and I've been fully invested in the stories and the characters. But I really don't care for the explaining. It's in my eyes, imagine just halfway through a fight between I don't know, Spider-Man and the Green Goblin, and then after each punch, or after each couple of punches, they both just stop. And then you just get 20 minutes in the middle of a fight scene of them talking to themselves. That would be a bad movie. That would be a bad scene in a movie. The reviews would be awful. The whole movie would flop because of it. No one wants to see that. People, when they see a fight scene, they want to see the fight scenes. They want to see the outcomes of the fight scenes, and they understand the emotions, and things are explained before the fight scenes. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not built for being a fully fledged anime watcher. But sorry, that's my little rant about anime. I hope that helped you get to sleep. I do love it though. And that's what I like about Cowboy Bebop at the moment, is that isn't that explaining. It's very like other shows, or like shows that aren't anime, and I think that's good. But we're coming up to 15 minutes. Stroke your hair for a bit, I think. You gotta rest, okay? You gotta calm. And I've gotta catch myself too, or I'll go on a rant about anime. Or Dune. I could go on about 400 different rants about Dune now. It's not good. I think I could probably make everyone fall asleep if I just spoke about Dune for the next 15 minutes. The whole world would sleep to my ranting and ravings about the intricacies of different characters in Dune and all the funny things. It's such a funny, weird series. People don't even know the start of it. Here we go, here's my rant. I will though. The movies make it more normal than it really is. There are some weird things that to non-sci-fi lovers, as well as just making it a good version, like a good adaptation. A lot of what happens in the book is inner thoughts, and you just can't do that really. Dune would be a great anime, because everything is inner thoughts in that, and it works really well. See, look at that, that's a link and a half. Have I bored you yet? I got you to sleep. I'm starting to feel sleepy from my own ranting and ravings now. There's been a phrase that's interested me very recently, the idea of nothing lasts forever. And I think that version, when you first think of it, it's very negative in its connotations. That good things come to an end, kind of thing. All good things come to an end. But it's not just good things that come to an end. I think there's joy in the idea that both good and bad comes to an end. And without one, you don't have the other. And let's be real. If we're living in a world that is both good, equally good and equally bad, if both end, then that balance is neutral. And to me, neutral is content. And to be content is maybe the optimism in me says it, but if I am content, then I am happy. And so that bar for whether that level is lowered, about where good is. But with that bar lowering, you see there's more to this. With that bar lowering, it needs to balance out again. And so what happens is your level at which you feel content rises. The demands to feel content. But I think it's good to remind yourself that if you're in a place where you have a home, that you're able to pay rent, and you don't, even if your job's not great, if it's not a job that's like really damaging to you, and you still have the time to see your friends, hang out with family, and you still have the opportunity to have days where you can enjoy yourself, I think that's important in itself. And that's what makes the so-called bad job worth it. And that's where content comes back. And if content comes back, then I'm happy again. It's not a flawless philosophy and mindset, but it helps. I hope it helps you too.